Hi there, Scorpio. How are you doing today? Welcome to your heart healing messages. And this is going to be all around some heart healing that's needed right now. And it could be a past situation or something that you're currently in. And we're going to look at the energy of what happened. So this reading will resonate within the first card. So if the heart healing message that comes out first resonates, then the message is likely for you. We're going to look at some advice from spirit, what happened, and some advice from spirit moving forward. So this is for Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node. So if this one doesn't resonate within the first card, check out your other signs or your placements for Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node, because your messages might be in those ones. So let's have a look. What heart healing is needed, and what does Spirit want to talk to you about today? Let's have a look for you, Scorpio. Okay. So we have grieving heart, open doors to something new. So there's a lot of grief that's currently still with you at the moment, viewer. And this feels very deep in heart space. This feels like almost inconsolable grief, and like a not understanding why something happened the way that it did, or feeling like something has left a hole and we're not quite sure how to move forward from that place and find peace with the grief that's currently happening. Okay, let's have a look what Spirit want us to know about this situation. Okay, let's have a look here. So we do feel quite deep in grief, and it feels very raw. This could be a situation that happened a while ago in the past, or it could be something that has happened in the very recent past. But it's something that feels new every time you think about it, or something reminds you of this situation. Okay, we've got High Priestess, Inner Voice. We have, let's see what else for you. What's happened with this situation, Scorpio? The Seven of Cups, delusion. Yeah, this is the just really not understanding why something happened the way that it happened. It kind of almost feels like a dream, like it didn't happen, but the pain is there. There's like a disbelief. Three of Pentacles, excitement. We'll get all of the cards out and then I'll give you what I'm getting. Knight of Pentacles, trust. Judgment, action. We have strength, bravery. And let's get one more for you. The Hierophant, guidance. Okay. What I'm feeling here for you, Scorpio, is something happened and it really felt like something came out of the blue. It felt there was a disbelief around this, and it knocked out any excitement that you might be feeling. It knocked out connection with others. It knocked out inspiration. There was a complete mistrust in life in general, just people and life. And the grieving kind of went over everything, as it always does. And it went over everything, and it kind of knocked out connection with spirit, and knocked out our inner voice. um Almost like we couldn't trust ourselves anymore. We couldn't trust spirit. Our connection to spirit was impacted by whatever happened here, and there was just no joy that came after, like no, not being able to tap back into joy. um our action, the feeling of like taking action, feels very heavy. But spirit are acknowledging your bravery through this, but there's also something about you being in a state of guidance to others, and possibly receiving guidance from somebody as well. um and being able to like slowly take steps to move forward from this grief. But it feels like there's something still blocking. It's like I'm having like really, heavy shoes on, and you lead boots on and you can't lift your legs. It's like that feeling of being heavy, like stuck in the mud and can't quite lift yourself up, like everything feels very heavy. Let's have a look at kind of what was being activated or understood through this situation here. There was the trust feels like a trust for life, just a trust in humanity, a trust in life was just gone. It was like there was no, there's just it's like you feel like you're up in the air but you can't move at the same time and you can't fly. It's like a debilitating energy that's come through with this, but you have dealt with this really bravely. There's been something very brave about this. It was extremely painful and it's still very raw. Let's have a look. What was being kind of activated? So yeah, this is about inner peace. We've got your crown chakra coming up here, and this is peace, understanding the grief and being at peace with the grief and not trying to move past the grief or get rid of the grief, but the acceptance of the grief. And we've got meditation. We've got crown chakra again. And it's this meditation that brings an understanding and a connection with the grief. It feels like the grief needs to be connected to and understood for the doors to be open to something new, which is what the energy of the heart healing is saying. Let's get one more for you. Forgiveness. We've got our heart chakra here. So this is, for some of you, this is forgiving life. Something's happened where it's like, why did that happen? It was so unjust. For others of you, this is a person perhaps that's keeping us in a stuckness with this grief. And it's kind of, it's understanding the grief from a place of peace, but being able to be in a meditative state while we're thinking about this, while we're feeling into it, because there's no words here. There's no words for any of this. This is feeling really just completely out of it. Like nothing's been the same since. Everything's kind of felt like a blur. Let's get some advice from Spirit on what we should be focusing on, what we should be moving towards to go through this healing process. What should we be moving towards to go forward, to move forward? And it's not about leaving the grief behind. It's about incorporating it and having an acceptance around the grief and going through that process, like fully going through that process in order for us to heal. Okay. We've got solar flare activate. And what else for Scorpio, please? This feels like moving in a new direction to do something differently somehow. And using whatever happened with this grief, using that to inform our next steps forward in a way that kind of honors that grief. Third house communication. Yeah. There's something here about communicating the process that you've been through with another. And we've got that with the guidance as well, which is where you are with this bravery in the Hierophant. I do feel like it's the honor of the grief so that you can do something that activates your next step forward through this. And this could be, if you've been through grief of something, this could be you holding a support group or talking about this grief in some way or integrating it somehow into your life. There's an honoring of this grief in how you communicate with other people. Let's have a look a little bit deeper and see what these next parts of our journey are going to be. What Spirit want us to focus on here with this communication and this activation. But there is a spark that's coming back, Scorpio. There's a spark that Spirit want you to be aware of that's coming back. And it feels like Spirit's waiting for you to feel ready and a little bit more settled. And as soon as you're feeling a little bit ready, they're going to present this activation. Yeah, more stability. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, what do we need to know about this stability? You might have heard me say this before because it's something I recommend quite a lot with heart healing, but Ho'oponopono healing for forgiveness is quite effective to help dislodge some of the energy when we're feeling in like real in a real stuck place with anything that might need forgiving, and that's towards life, that's towards another, that's towards ourselves. It helps with everything. And we've got Two of Wands planning. Yeah, we do have some inspiration coming back. The Tower, transformation. Whatever this is, it's transformed how you want to do things now going forward. Page of Swords, education. I feel like this could be you in education with this communication. With the third house, it's a lot about knowledge as well, and how we communicate, how we're thinking, how we process information and communicate that out. But this is specifically about communication here. The Emperor's nourishment. This is nourishing yourself, but also nourishing, having nourishing words and nourishing communication in some way that helps yourself and communities. And we've got King of Wands, passion. Okay. So where there is healing that needs to take place for you on an individual level, viewer, there is movement here about going into something when you're ready. I do feel like Spirit saying when you're ready, so this is going to be different for everybody, but they're going to put you onto a pathway where you can be you have this opportunity to transform your own world and make it work in a way that's honoring your processes, your grief, how you work specifically, but also how you can then give that to other people. But there's something extremely nourishing about this energy just in general, for yourself, for other people, for anybody else involved in the situation. And really understanding the learning about this, but helping other people. It's like you're planning and helping other people to go through this process because you understand it fully now as well. And there is an honor of what's happened here where that you can bring into something, and it doesn't have to be literal. It can be bringing that into in different ways, into your work life in different ways. There could be something here as well about just taking part in communities where people have gone through the same thing. But this disconnection with spirit that's been felt recently is going to come back. There's an activation coming back for you. It needs some meditation around how you're feeling, and it's like there's no words. It's like if you're trying to put an explanation on how you're feeling, it's just keeping you in a rut. It's being completely open with yourself, not necessarily with anybody else, but with yourself about how this is feeling, and it dislodges. It feels lodged in your heart space, perhaps your throat chakra as well. It feels lodged. And what's happening here is spirit is going to give you tiny bits of inspiration to kind of think about how you could integrate this, how you could move forward with this yourself, but definitely with others. And it's like sharing your wisdom of this. And because spirit want you to open doors, they want you to open doors where you feel like you need this transformation. You really feel like you need things to totally transform. Like if you could wipe the slate clean and just start again without any of the history, without anything else, you would want to do that. It's like you want everything just to stop and go away. And spirit want to give you that. They want to give you this transformation that makes you feel refreshed, rejuvenated, nourished. Let's see what messages we have for you in the love space. What does spirit want you to know here? We've got responsibility. You are aware of the power of your thoughts and the amount of love you express. Yeah, there's no words in this grief. There's feeling and experience of those feelings and emotion, but there's no words in this grief. Let's have a look. What else? I'll put this down here. What else? Let's get one more for Scorpio, please. Okay, yeah, there we go. And we've got present. You live in the moment and are able to bring forth the energy of love in your current circumstances. And that's speaking about the peace and meditation with yourself, and this forgiveness piece as well. But it's because there's no thoughts. There's living in the past is mental, like mental anguish slightly. And Spirit saying it's being in the present moment where you can be in a space with this grief, but also having seeing the signs and picking up on the energy that will help you move forward and take whatever steps you need to move forward, to get any of these bits of inspiration. It's like some things are going to come in and inspire you, but you're not going to have the energy necessarily to act. But slowly, slowly, as these signs keep appearing, eventually at some point, whenever you're ready, you'll start to move, and then everything will start to transform. Okay, let's get some final words from Spirit for you. I nurture the child within me. I am complete, whole, and secure. So where it feels that everything was in disbelief, where it feels like there's just a piece missing and everything feels just almost like in a fantasy land, you're just watching everything go by and you're not present with it. It's that kind of feeling where just things aren't coming together, especially with this Seven of Cups energy. It's the disconnection with Spirit, and I do feel the meditation will help with that, greatly help with that. Let's have a look. What else? Oops, there we go. We have, I see clearly and accurately through divine assistance. Spirit definitely want you to speak to them through meditation, or however it resonates for you to connect with Spirit. For some of you, this could just be putting on, do you know, like on YouTube, there's some wonderful meditations where you've got different scenes of waterfalls or fields, or like deep sea with the fish and the ocean life. There could be something like that just by watching it can help you go into the present moment, or listening to some of the music, that can be quite helpful. If you find your mind's distracted, it can be helpful to see something on screen, and you can have very powerful meditative experiences through that can really transform and help shift the energy. And as I say, um it's not about disowning the energy, it's actually about owning it so that it empowers you. Yes. Okay. I release old burdens and expectations of love. I am free to choose with confidence. Yes, this is about taking your step forward. And this burden is the burden of feeling like you're stuck, like you can't move forward. What will help you move forward is this connection back to life source energy, Spirit, however it is you resonate, and what feels good to you. Oh, we've got a flip there. Whatever it is, that you do that makes you feel in the present moment, it's really important for you to do that, because you've been feeling like you can't take action. But Spirit are saying that you have dealt with this amazingly well. You have been stronger than you possibly know. I see clearly actions of manipulation. I see the truth. So perhaps for some of you, this is really understanding what went down and knowing that it had nothing to do with you. When we are in situations where there's been manipulation, when there's been gameplay, when there's been any of these things happening, it's not on us. Our choices are all we're in control of. That's our free will, how we choose to act with ourselves or with others. The actions we choose to take, that's on us. Any kind of manipulation, if that was involved in your situation, viewer, it's not on us. Let's see. Last message from Spirit for you. What do they want you to know? Just moving through this grieving heart energy. But they want you to go into new doors. Ah, look, we've got dragonfly magic. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant and I am blessed. There's something for you that's going to feel exciting and like you've got your life energy back. And it's when your Spirit, I feel very strongly, Spirit is saying it's when you're ready. When you feel ready to move, we're there to help you move and open these new doors for you. Okay. All right, Scorpio, I hope that that's helped with some of this energy that you're experiencing in your heart space and heart healing that you're going through right now. And thank you for watching the reading with me today, as always, and I will catch you next time. Take care.